the medics aren't the problem. It's the physiologists and the scientists and the evidence-based medicine group that are what I see as the problem, because they're totally inflexible. A medic also, they don't call it chi, but they work with people's health. You know, a good doctor understands what's going on. They might not, you know, they don't do it that way themselves, or they do and they go and study for themselves. But you know, they're not the ones that are negative. It's the more science establishment, where all the criticism we got was mostly from academic physiologists and pathologists.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point, because the film obviously addresses a lot of the barriers that the profession comes against in terms of getting knocked back from being recommended on the NHS because it doesn't pass any of the clinical trial tests. And we talked a lot about, how do we end this film? How do we keep hope when there's been so many barriers for the profession? And I think you have to sort of, there is an issue with, the science, and trying to get acupuncture to fit into that model is very challenging. And I think Sibyl's right. You don't, acupuncture can't change. That's not the answer. I think the systems around testing it, or the strictness of those systems and what they inform, need to shift a little bit or become less strict. And it seems like that's happening currently or historically only when Western medicine fails in a certain way. So during the AIDS crisis, when the GPs, very early on, when they had no idea what this illness was, and because Chinese medicine just approaches, you know, a body as a whole and not an illness or a disease, it was able to treat these people and have really a lot of success in helping people with their symptoms. And because of that, during that time, the GP started recommending these patients to go and get acupuncture. And during that time, the Gateway Clinic was set up, and that was embedded into a hospital in the UK, and that's still there. And the GPs send them down to the hospital. They have beds in the hospital, and it's really, we don't have that in Australia, and it's an amazing way for it all to function. So I think that's kind of what needs to happen. It just needs to be accepted into the fold, and I think that then the doctors will hopefully realise that it complements Western medicine very well and doesn't compete with it.